Good afternoon. Okay, so I will read a little bit, okay? So, yeah, so it is on page 101. So, if you still feel unable to eradicate this self-grasping, then cultivate the following thought. This time, it is different. Today, I have sought a spiritual teacher, I have read the sutras, and as a result, I have now recognized the enemy. It has been stated here like this. The old days when you could ruin me at will are now gone. I can see you now, so where are you off to? Off to Nepal? Off to Himalayas? Off to Dharamsala? Off to South India? Go back to Australia, America? So I shall tear down your arrogance wherever you go. Okay. You want to hide in my luggage. You want to hide in my skin. You want to pretend to be one of my cells. Wherever it is, I'm going to what? I'm going to trace down. So contemplate along these lines, and whenever any self-centered thought arises, the master said you should be cognizant and strike at the snot of this boar with a can. Yes. No, yeah, especially right at the nose. So, yeah, like in Geshe Tengpa's 8 verses of thought transformation, the moment negative emotions arises, then you're immediately realizing this is endangering to yourself or others, then avert it right there without delay. So it's very much a meaning like that. You see, so to get to this, how to say, to able to manage to do like that effectively, so we need to train, before, the negative emotions, the environment of negative emotions. You see, when we have a calm, peaceful mind, and with a lot of what I call the reminder of Dharma, when you are in very uplifted spirits, that time, then we have to train our mind. Then only you are able to remember to, that you are holding a stick, and remember that you manage to see the nose of the pig. Otherwise pig will see you, but you cannot see them. And you will be overwhelmed by the negative environment, and you won't able to avert it. You see, so like I think in the first 1-2 sessions before, I think how to overcome when like such as anger arises. We say even you apply the antidote, but it's not able to overcome. So we remember that we said that we need to practice before. So that's why sometimes the retreat environment is very helpful. If it's the group, if not, at least yourself, occasionally, conducting a retreat in a very conducive environment can be very helpful. So therefore, it was taught that as far as the subject matter of all the teachings of the Great Vehicle is concerned, there are only the 2 themes. The first one is totality, letting go of the self-grasping, and the second one is upholding sentient beings with a deep concern, and on this basis, crippling this self-grasping as much as you can, and nurturing sentient beings as much as you can. So this two thing, you see. So whatever Dharma learnings that you do, whatever virtuous practices you do, need to arrive to achieve these 2 points. Everything has to make sense to deliver these 2 points. Firstly, really make sure that we understand clearly what it means. Then secondly, to really to actualize the path. You see, so then, so I think just now for some of you, during the consultation, I think you have raised this question, and I've answered this way. You say how you will know, how you will know that, in other words, leading to this path, correct path. How you will know Dharma learning is actually helping you to actualize these 2 practice, or the fulfilling the meaning of the Dharma, fulfilling the purpose of the Dharma practice. How you know, or even I would say learning many Dharma. Conducting many numbers of mantras, many numbers of meditations, etc. How you know it is helping to deliver these 2 benefits of progressing on the path. You see, so that is through whether the whether the delusions are getting lesser or not, whether you're becoming more settled, more peaceful within or not, and the what do you call I think I have given an example. Becoming like a water. Then I think I give example. I often give this example. You see, water can, can mold with every shape, can harmony with, in all kinds, Now I also don't name properly. Just now I said, I think, not bad. But now I don't know how to say it. So, can shape in every situation. Yeah? So, water you put in this kind of container, shape like this. If water put in, this morning there's someone showed me there's like horn, like that. So you put in the water will shape like the horn. So, so you need to adaptable. You see, when you are adaptable to any situation, then there comes, even samsara, you will know how to take on to the path. If you become adaptable on the basis of the wisdom of Dharma, by using the Dharma knowledge, then you become adaptable in all situations. That's the way you will manage to take even samsara onto the path, attachment onto the path. You see, if you are not flexible enough, in no way you can take samsara onto the path, suffering onto the path, obstacle onto the path, attachment onto the path. You see, so if we stay rigid, that's the grasping. Either it's a permanent grasping, self-grasping, certain fixation in dualism, whatever it may be. All the delusions is very much carry fixation, rigid kind of mindsets. Then there's no flexibility. So you need to, whether Dharma is benefiting you or not, is to seeing whether you're becoming more and more flexible, very easygoing. You can adjust, you can manage every situation. You see, in any shape, in any experiences. So this is how you checked. You see, before coming to this retreat, and now after this retreat, or every day, that passing, listening more teaching, checking into yourself, am I becoming more flexible, more adjustable, with people around you, with the conditions, even with the weather, food, a room, people's treatment to you, etc., etc., and most of all with your own emotion. That adjustment can express in being more kinder. Even there's some emotions are still kind of bothering you. Now you become kinder, more gentle towards you. You see, even anger is there, but you become more gentle towards you. Means you're adjusting. You see, if there's any situation that which is inconvenient to you now because of the Dharma, it's so easy to forgive and forget, move on. That kind of adjustment, that kind of flexibility, that's what the water, the example of water it meant. You see, so that's how to check. Now, there's a second point in relation to, again, water. Be like the water, soft. Am I becoming softer and softer about yourself, about the situation, about others? You see, there's no softer than the water, right? You see, there's no softer than the water. Am I becoming, like the water, the softest, or softer and softer? You see. But in that softness carry the most powerful, it carry the power, very, very, in fact, the water is also softest but yet most powerful. Most powerful. Stronger than, even in material form, the water is stronger than metal, stronger than the rock. You see, I usually give example of, you go to the riverside, you see unbelievable shape of rocks you can find. Some are so smooth. From beginning, they are not smooth like that. Because of they keep water, brushing them, that soft, touching them consistently, shape them to be so smooth. Then, unbelievable shapes, so artistic shapes you can find. You see, some such a hardest rock, but then there's a hole, like that. You see, and this is because of persistent, that soft water touched and pierced the hole onto the rock. You see, that much power water carries. You see, so where this power within us come from, the value of the Dharma, the value of the basic human values, if you uphold through moral kind of responsibilities, when you this is why we talk about when all the Dharma knowledge kind of put into a practice, it comes in the form of precepts. We talk about individual liberation, very much conclude within 3 precepts: individual liberation precept, Bodhisattva precepts, tantric precepts. You conclude there. You see, so when you uphold that, you become so powerful. You see, yet it's so soft. So we have to see: am I becoming like that? Am I having more and more confidence? But at the same time, total free of ego, the softest, the humblest. You see, the more the knowledge you have, the more the practice you practice Dharma, the more the humble you become. You see, the more the realization you gain in Dharma, the more you see quality in others, the more you see Buddha in others. You see, and sometimes you see that from our great gurus, who really expressing that quality, that humanity. You see, the more you practice Dharma, the more egoistic you becoming, the more sub-importance, coming out. That means Dharma practice is not didn't practice. How to say? The practice is not correct. Maybe Dharma knowledge be correct, but didn't know how to practice correctly. You see, and the more you practice Dharma, the more rigid you become, more angrier you become, more jealousy you become. More difficult person you become. Then we call it Dharma pollution. Dharma has no pollution, but because of the way how you didn't know how to take on to the path, then it actually boosts your ego. It can happen like that, you see. So this is how you check. The more you learn, the more humble you become. The more realization you have, you perform the power of realization whenever needed to perform, but then you never claim. Some more you claim, no, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. This is what you see from our great gurus. You see, even like Histonians, they say, emptiness far, far away, or bodhicitta far, far away. I have aspiration. Even the actual Arya Bodhisattva also, even in the word says like that. But if we didn't know how to listen to it, it sounds sometimes feel like a bit discouraging, but if you know how it works, then that's the most inspiring. It's really illustrations of, the quality is there, the Dharma quality is there, You see, so in the world of Dharma, the CV doesn't work. The CV, So actually, in the real Dharma practice, the CVs can be obstacle. You see, so there's one time I was asked to visit, Oxford to take one semester as a visiting scholar or something like that. So I had to. So I was quite interested. It's kind of it is something new, so I want to try it out. But the process is not easy. So you say first you need to compete with a few scholars. You have to go through examination. You have to go through interview. Then you need to prepare a CV. And that's the first time I heard the language called CV. So I said, what is CV? So our office in Australia, the coordinator said, oh, Geshe, I will prepare for you. I said, okay. And then, so I prepared quite a few pages. He said, is this really? Is there so many kind of lies like that, or exaggerations? So I say, oh, what is this? Yes, I did like that, but not as so perfect like what what you said here. He said, no, Geshe, you have to put more. You say, this is not good enough, you have to put more. I say, what I got to put in here? He said, Geshe, you did that, isn't it? He said, yeah. Oh, should put that. So anyway, so it was quite shocking. But he says the world works like that. Without that, you won't be accepted. I say, so anyway, I say, okay, the world works like that. Okay, please send. Yes. Okay. Now why I'm saying this? Okay. Yes. So. Yes. So. Yeah. For true Dharma practice, the CV doesn't work. Non is CV. The non is CV. So. Yeah.
Geshe?
Yes.
So whenever you say, even His Holiness says that he's just aspiring towards Buddhism, or aspiring after a lifetime of practice. Some people like me, with our minds, we may think, oh, this means this path doesn't work.
True.
So maybe he should say something.
Something like the way how we all say, isn't it? Even before having it, before reaching 10 bhumi, he said, no, I think I reached already, 10 and plus. So it's a bit of our normal conventional norm, like we need to, being truthful. And the real Dhamma practitioner way is almost like lying, like being not truthful, So, but because it is matter of a samaya, it's so secret. So sacred, so you need to keep secret. And by the way, the differentiation of these two also I learned just few weeks ago. I always thought these two is same thing, secret and sacred. So now, okay, because it's so sacred, that's why it need to be secret. So the masters are just utilizing these two words together. So you have to introduce, why they are doing that. So otherwise, it can be very discouraging, So, yes. So how to do? So that's what I said before. So maybe like that. When you need to perform the deeds, let's say deeds of bodhicitta, deeds of wisdom, action has to prove. Not the label. I think that's the thing. Like His Holiness, his action proven. It's absolute bodhisattva, no doubt. When you learn about the bodhisattva's conduct, it's absolutely, even with our ordinary naked eye can see that. You see? So that's what matter. So verbally, no need to claim, and no need to introduce in word. Need to introduce by action. So I think, so otherwise in the ordinary way, first you introduce with word, then action perform later. But in Dharma, you perform action before, then the word will naturally, if required, it will come in your way, So something like that, I think. Oh yes, water. So be like water. You see, so very high, very soft, but then strong. Dharma practitioners, we have to be very, very, very strong. You see, strong with wisdom, strong with compassion. You see, so then your present, your existence, your present can able to uplift. Uplift those who are feeling weak. If you present yourself so weak, how are you going to uplift somebody, isn't it? So you need to be very strong in the wisdom of Dharma, so optimistic, so positive. Really mean it, not just in word, but you really can shine that through your present. You see, then consistency. You have to be consistency. You have to be that. You have to be the Dharma. You have to be the Dharma wisdom, you see. So even like wisdom of no self, even though you have not realized yet, but you're really training in that wisdom. You really guided by that wisdom. You see. So you may not realize compassion yet, but your value is compassion. That's your moral ethics. You see. So you live a life like that, then naturally power comes. Naturally, it's like closed door and open, the same person. You see. So, yeah. So then there's a third element, which also, is about water, to be like the water. The clarity. We need to have clarity. Clarity about our past, our future, our present. Meaning clarity about what you want to do, your vision of life, your mission of life. You see, so you have to be very clear. And clear in the sense that but and also you're committed, not trying it out. If you're just trying it out, then halfway give up, then you're not here, not there. You see, you're not fully in samsara, you're not fully in nirvana. In between is worse. You see? So clarity is meaning you know what you want to do, but you also clear in commitment. So that's another importance, you see. Then about knowledge of the past, which is through karma, through knowledge of karma. You see, looking into the present condition your present life, your present situation, that is the clear picture of what kind of our past life have, what kind of life we have in our past. This is the clear, evidence. That's how we examine. You see, and the prediction of future is the quality of our, the mind, the vision, the commitment. From there, you will see what kind of future I had. You see, so that clarity is needed. When you are more and more clear, so we say where this clarity comes from, that peacefulness, the inner settledness, calmness, gentleness. You see, so like I give an example like this. Dew drip of water. I say even either on the lips or either on any object. Dew drip, just small dew drips of water. If it is calm, the whatever is holding that drip is settled. It has the reflections of the entire wall. From all direction. Can see in that small drip of water. You see, entire vast sky you see in there. You see, the side, behind, front, all can see in there. You see, but the calmness is not there. Calmness is, or in other words, you are not in the present moment. This is where we're talking about calmness. If you are not in the present moment, then even how many wisdom you have, how many knowledge you have, you very much like a kind of like a ocean, ocean shaken by the storm. You see, huge ocean, but cannot even reflect the sky on top. You see, cannot even see the tree behind, cannot see the reflect in the ocean, like that, you see. So this is an example, you see. So whether Dharma learning is benefiting or not, whether my spiritual practice is developing or not, whether Dharmas are becoming part or not, am I getting more and more realization on the path or not? Is my defilements and delusions purifying or not? Very much you judge from the quality of the three things in us. You see. So in Tibetan saying, Theta Shishin Tu means the more you hear the Dharma, you become more humble. That also is one of the signs. Gomda Nimong Tu, the more you meditate, lesser delusion it becomes. You see, that's the way you checked. You see. So based on this, I figured it out. The example of water. So like that. So we don't really, make a judge based on how many teachers you have, how many retreats you have done, how many texts you have read, how many courses you have taken, how long you have been in Dharma practice. No, we won't judge by that. You see, because some individual, they have already practiced so much in the past lifetime. But in this life, maybe you're just meeting Dharma in your mid-age, maybe just a day ago. But then you can be, just that condition already, trigger to ripen all your past hard works, past imprints, and you're already in a high level. Maybe for some, maybe they met the Dharma from a long time, it's still not working that out. Maybe this life is the first time, maybe you are meeting the Dharma and you start to practice. So, you see, so therefore, that's the reason we cannot make a judgment how good practitioner you are based on how much vow you have, how much precept you have, how long time you're practicing, in the Dharma, like that, you see. And this is very important for us to roughly figure it out so that you know how to gather the tools to progress more effectively. You see, so that meaning you know well about your position, isn't it? You see. Furthermore, since all the sacred scriptures and treatises were taught for the purpose of subduing the affliction, it is the affliction that must be subdued by means of them and not increase. In general, there are 84,000 afflictions, all of which, when subsumed, fall into 212 classes. When subsumed, they in turn fall into the class of 6 root afflictions and 20 detrived afflictions, secondary afflictions. These two can be further subsumed into 5 or 3 poisons. When subsumed further, they are reduced into a single affliction, namely the self-grasping alone. So if you can manage to directly work on the antidote to the self-grasping ignorance, then it affects entire 84,000 delusions and defilements. So that's one of the way. There's another way is that you work with that most obvious and frequent arising delusion. So you individually know yourself. If that individual, anger is the thing that which is most frequent, most disturbing emotion, then say work with that first. Engage with the antidote or to the anger. Then that way, whatever next more obvious, you work with that. So this is another way. But the best way is to able to work directly to the root, which carry all the elements of the afflictions, the self-grasping ignorant. And antidote-wise, the wisdom of emptiness, directly work with the wisdom of emptiness. Especially wisdom of emptiness, if you apply, or say if you take the altruistic wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness, that which is motivated or supported by bodhicitta intention, then that can be even more effective, because it's simultaneously the application of wisdom, eradicating the two root emotion, two root. One is the self-grasping ignorant, another one is self-cherishing, centered mind. So these two play a major root. So you manage to directly antidote to that. So therefore, meditating on emptiness, even though it's the hardest meditation, but worth trying from there. But then again, you need to be taught, you need to be prepared, because otherwise there's so danger of falling into the two extreme, nihilism and internihilism. And so if you fall into nihilism or internihilism, then you again fall into the trap of ignorant. So therefore, so in order not to fall into the two extreme, then the emptiness always has to be understood in the meaning of interdependent existence, like what Lama Tsongkhapa emphasized that in the text of Three Principal Aspects of the Path. You see, until the individual have not realized the meaning of emptiness as an interdependent existence, or meaning of interdependent existence as an emptiness, that you have not accomplished the final understanding of wisdom of emptiness. So you see, so there are many individuals, they train in, they study and they practice, meditate in emptiness until, never really, time to time, kind of try to make sense from the conventional, the relative, the aspect of understanding of emptiness, only through the other side, then that lead to a nothingness. So emptiness is not talking about arriving nothingness. Emptiness is, in fact, is the bringing about existence. Like when we search for the emptiness of self, you actually, the result has to be finding the self, not losing the self. You see, that makes sense? And not losing the self, finding the self. But finding the self has to be only discovered by completely arriving to the void of non-existent self. Void of non-existent self. You see? So now there, many individuals unable to go through that transition, that fine transition from losing the non-existent self to the discovering of the legitimate existent self. Why many individuals are unable to go through this transition? Because there's uncomfortable experiences come in between, which everybody had to go through. The fear of losing, the fear of completely, losing self, completely disappearing self, and that is quite a shock and fear. So before getting into that, then just kind of settle there. It's kind of like, okay, not really there, but I'm fine. That kind of losing into that empty space. Is kind of, how to say, not total arriving of the absolute voidness of the false I, just simply experiencing the losing of the grasping, losing of grasping, but not totality letting go. So you experience the losing of the grasping, you feel kind of floating in the air. It's very nice feeling. It's like, Mhm. Yeah, so so you need to get beyond that nice feeling of, that just simply losing the grasping and hanging on to the air. So you need to, we need to, we need to get out of that. So to really to get out of that, you're losing the complete, the how to say, even from that comfortable kind of like void of experience, and that is very much like experience of completely negated of self, which is no different feeling than you completely lost. So how you rescue yourself from that completely loss to actually that you are not lost. You're lost, but you're not lost. You're lost from the false I, but then you finally found the real I. And the tools of interdependent existence is the one. Is pull you back, bring you back to the real person. You see. So so that's why there are some examples. Some practitioners, when the meritorious conditions are ripened, and even it happens during the discourse, Dharma discourse. So there's one master, usually often give example in Tibet. While attending the discourse on the emptiness, and he was, getting into the meditation, and when the meritorious resources are complete, so he actually experienced losing of the entire, the false identity, and suddenly he arose into a great fear in the verge, great fear of like completely disappearing yourself, and due to the help of merit as well as great analytical training, keep reminding that emptiness meaning dependent arising, then he somehow managed to pull his hand up and hold his tonga. So that must be monk. So they give an example. So this is called tonga. So he hold here, then suddenly he fell, or he's not lost. So he discover his legitimate existence, because there's interdependently the base is discovered of your identity. Just because of that. So so not necessarily always go and like find something to hold, but sometimes many rounds of the imprint that you left in your mind, introducing that meaning of emptiness is dependent arising, so that helps. It says like that. So sometimes you hardly hear this teaching that that anybody who first time realizing emptiness actually go through a great fear. And Jabja Lama Sobarambache, when he teach emptiness, he make it extra effort and make a clear emphasis on this particular point. You must have the fear. Without that fear, you didn't manage to completely negate the false I. You see, this certain subtle negation is still is to remain within you. That's why there's not intense fear is there. So that intense fear has, so, but you cannot kind of lost into that fear. If you lost into that fear, when you wake up from that meditation, most likely you will have this, how to say, false view. instead of wisdom, but you will have a false view, or you will start to criticize the emptiness. You will lose faith. So that's why it happened during Buddha's time also. So even Buddha warned those who are not ripened with the merits, not properly educated in the teachings of emptiness, then don't simply reveal it. So there are cases of even loss of faith, so like that, and mostly loss of faith because of falling into nihilism, and especially falling into nihilism when someone start to experience, either through the fear, didn't manage to, establish the existence, or didn't even, kind of like avoid experiencing that transition, and then stuck there, so like that. So those of individual serious meditator, so you have to expect that, you see, and whenever there's a fear arising, then you have to kind of even more prepared and rejoice and get it even more intense, and you find kind of maybe like even people, some individual, they make a light offering, like in the Himalayas, they burn a butter light, and sometimes that little shadow of the light even can be helpful to wake up from that loss, and sometimes that little smell of the burning butter, even that can be helpful, you see. But maybe nowadays, I think we can use different method. What do you think that method? Mobile alarm clock. Yeah. So, especially in Australia, those from Australia, there's so much of fire ban. No chance to burn butter light. So I think mobile alarm clock. Especially like this, like that, So you kind of roughly know. First try, there is about half an hour time about to realize emptiness, then you say, oh, okay, I didn't lose, I still exist. Okay. So, yes. Sure.
What's the nature of the fear of the whole self? Is it fear of death? Is it fear of not existing? What are
Yeah, fear of non-existent. Yeah.
And how do you face that fear?
Oh, how to face that fear? I have no idea.
Like, if it arises in that moment, you just stay with it, or you question it?
No. Don't stay with that. If you stay with that, either you most likely go into, the losing, what you call nihilism, isn't it?
Well, what I mean is stay with it, not that you accept it, but you just observing it as it is.
No, it cannot stay too long. I don't think it can stay too long. I have no experience, but I don't think it can stay too long. Have to wake up fast. So I think the best way to rescue yourself is put an alarm clock.
It's not the objective to transcend that fear and to realize that what is holding that fear is not real.
I think that time you're so deep concentration, you will not have an analytical ability to even try to understand the fear. Just intense fear, like intense fear. Like sometimes when we are, like, let's say if you happen to walk somewhere, then there's little clip, sometimes like sudden kind of push, almost like you fell down, like that boom, Yeah, so if you are meditating with somebody, then it asks, the person to hold a hammer. He said, 30 minutes time, just hit hard on my knee. So, but then you have to make sure that your fear arrives just before that, you know. Too early, you get into trouble. And too late, also get into trouble. Can you imagine that? I think right time, hit the hammer. I think we'll be so thankful. It's kind of bliss because in between the fear of loss and suddenly that pain, you know. It's like I think there might be a very I think you may experience great bliss. So usually it says like that, you know. When no, it didn't say hit the hammer, but so when you realize emptiness, then you know when you realize the dependent arising. Was it no, not that. So when you reach, you know, maybe just before the fear arrive, the impact of losing the grasping, you start to experience great bliss, freedom, you know, like because it's you're released from the bondage, isn't it? So you start to feel bliss, and one of the ways is to you know, like have some kind of subconsciously have a capability to preserve that bliss, hold the bliss subconsciously. Because consciously, deep meditation in that period, you won't able to do that. So when we do the analytical meditation, then you very much like imagine, very much like through words, you try to kind of arrive to a complete void of grasping, and then there you feel like relief, you feel wonderful, and try to absorb into that state, you know. Like as in the teaching also guided like that, do analytical meditation, then before getting to absorption, you know, your conceptual mind still can adjust what kind of experiences that you're having, isn't it? You know, come to some kind of like settledness, relaxation, and then that lead to absorption meditation using the meditative mind. So initial level of meditative mind is not that subtle. So still there's some, intellectual awareness is still possible. And then they gradually, introduced to the more and more subtle mind. So then the subtlest state of the observation state of mind, it will be familiar subconsciously how to union the void and great bliss together. So that also we have to train before. So by repeatedly training that, then that's how that it lead to the actual realization, actual experience of emptiness. So so that bliss, blissful experience of the void also can be rescuer. That also can be the rescuer. Yeah, like that. So he who has subdued it to the highest degree enjoy the highest degrees of happiness. To the medium degree, a medium degree of happiness. And to the minimal degree, the minimal degree of happiness. So emptiness is the way to, really enjoy happiness, to really experience true happiness. Even just trying it out from the beginning, already you start to enjoy this, small liberation from relieving from the bondage of graspings. The grasping is the one where the suffering comes from. The more you meditate emptiness, the grasping gets lesser and lesser. He who has not subdued it to any degree will enjoy no happiness at all. So the root of suffering is self-grasping, and since all faults and defects are contingent upon this, you must from now on abandon any clinging to your body, mind, and instead regard them as your enemy. You see, so again here, it's not talking about regard your mind and body as an enemy. This has to be interpreted. The ignorant, the grasping mind talking about the grasping mind, the delusional mind. Body talking about the grasping of mind. Grasping of me and grasping of mind, mind body. In relation to the body, then you have this clinging of mind. And that's the problem. It's not talking about body is the problem. Most importantly, you must abandon your clinging to the body. On this point, Shantideva states, most importantly, so when you train in the meditations to realize emptiness, it is advised to train realizing emptiness on the object. So here the object and subject is talking about the person. The object is talking about it is base like a body. That's why like in the Heart Sutra, start with form is empty, emptiness is form. Form is not an emptiness. So then you go to feeling, etc., etc. But when you train like this, even though the language you have been using, realize no self, meditate on emptiness of self. Sometimes this self is not referring to a person. The self is simply talking about false identity in any phenomena. That self can be referring to the falsely established form. So first discover the emptiness of falsely established form, that is the self to the form. You see? So when you realize, then you realize emptiness of the person first. But when you train to understand emptiness in relation to the object. When you realize emptiness on the subject first. When you train on the object first. It's like that. So like what is stated in the Heart Sutra. So you see, in relation to Heart Sutra, then very much exercising this definition to the object, like a form. Form is empty, emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. So this is a definition of emptiness. So this need to discover on the form, physical form. You see, form is emptiness. So form is, So establishing the form as an emptiness, then the extreme of extremes of apprehending, if things exist, it has to be inherently existent. You purify that. Then form is emptiness. Emptiness also form. So then you purify the another extreme, So by exercising this, you come to a point that form is not other than the emptiness. Emptiness is not other than the form, which is nothing more than the merely label form, which itself is the form, which itself is the form as an interdependent existence, which is also the absolute being of the lacking of inherent existence. You see. So then here the quotation says, if I am attached to my body, fears arises from even single dangers. This body that brings so much fear, who would not detest it like an enemy? So this grasping, he's talking about grasping. So reflect, although I have striving hard since beginningless time to benefit this body, it is in the nature of the material object and feels no joy or pain in the relation to any benefit or injury. As for the mind, it is devoid of the substantial reality and empty. Since what appears conventionally right now comes into being from the cause and condition, it is devoid of self-defining identity. Furthermore, since the cause and effect cease every moment, there is nothing that is established following its origin. Therefore, you should think like this. In the past, I have been preoccupied with the worthless, ruinous pursuit. Now I shall regard my own self as an enemy and shall call upon all 8 classes of the worldly gods, demigods and demons and all 80,000 families of the obstructive forces to withdraw their support of this self. All the delusional distractions which are named as a demon. Train with the thought by thinking, by allay and help vanquish this self-grasping, help make my 5 aggregates devoid of substantial reality and empty. By engaging in this practice, the master entreated, strive to the best of your ability to subdue this self-grasping demon during your brief life. So that's the goal. So if you manage to do the best, then you become Buddha by that wisdom developing into Dharmakaya. If not, at least realize non-conceptual direct realization by entering into the Arya Bodhisattva's path. If not, then at least conceptually realize the emptiness. If not, at least have a clear understanding and try to relate the world with that wisdom. And great purifications happened, and great accumulations of merit of wisdom also happens. So Master Shavava stated, so long as we fail to see our own self as an enemy, no one, including our teacher, can save us. If we see it as an enemy, benefit will ensure. How much Dharma we learn, how much instruction we receive, but then we tightly hold on to the self-grasping ignorance, then that's so true. No one can help us, you see. Like how much, the Dharma knowledge, just from this commentary, you see, there's so much to stay away from problem, at least from our how to say, from our side. We're just shaping the correct thinking, the relation about the world. But then, if we don't want to use it and still continue to hold on to the grasping, the old pattern way of looking at the world and situation, then that's it. Can't help much, you see. So sometimes we gather together to kind of hoping that life challenges will be solved. could be anything. And there are some individual, gather like this kind of Dharma events to improve ourselves, develop ourselves. Already great merit, great wisdom, but want to increase, you see. But if we hold on to the grasping, the dualistic way, the same way as the past, and not really using the tools, then that's it. When hearing, it sounds wonderful. But then after, the reality kicks in, we are no different than before. There's no improvement, you see. So, so we have to use the tool, especially more than while we are in the retreat. We have to use when we get into the real world. So therefore, it is important to listen the teaching. It says study the teaching as a gathering instruction, not just information. So gathering instruction, it's not like we need to remember exactly the word what it says there. You get the understanding, and you have to translate to yourself, and have either can be a word or can be color, can be whatever it may be, even just the atmosphere that we remember, or during the time you're here, the certain thing that really kind of impacted you, that is like it really stays so lively in our heart. Translate through that point, So we need to have that kind of instruction according with that which is most suits you, carrying the meaning. Then we use that. You see, we use that in our day-to-day life, in our ordinary life. Then Dharma start to work. Otherwise won't work. You see, so morning meditation, maybe 5-10 minutes before go to work, works. But reality kicks in the job place. We become the old person. We are unable to handle the situation. So like that. So especially, when we discuss Lojong practice, everything need to hear in the language of instruction. Instruction here also, we cannot misunderstand, like someone like kind of like pointing, say you should do this, you shouldn't do this. No, we cannot listen like that. It is beneficial to me, like, therefore I want to take it, not like, someone imposing, no one is imposing to anybody, you see. Even sometimes, even like the teacher, the style, almost like imposing, but no, especially Buddha Dharma, cannot impose to anybody. You have to listen it, analyze it. If it's beneficial, take it. If it's not, put aside. No offense, like that. But the real benefit, only happens the applications of the teaching as an instruction, as an instruction to our ordinary life. So that's where the benefit comes. Since they are powerful, so they become aids in your battle against self-grasping. Since they are powerful army on your side, it is inappropriate to generate anger towards the agent of harms. So rather, you should look on them with joy. Can we do that? Person or situation, So if you see, here comes. if you have a good quality of Guru devotion or refuge, at least good quality of refuge in the Buddha, then this situation appears as a disguise of the Buddha to you, your refuge to you. Then when you see any embodiment of Buddha, you will feel joy, isn't it? Then especially if you have a Guru devotion, intake of Guru devotion, then all these difficult people, difficult situations are, manifestations of the Guru to really to train you, to develop your heart. So that's what the impact of Guru devotion practice. That was supposed to be. When we talk about Guru devotion, it either when you talk about Guru devotion, the intake Guru devotion is that that you become oneness with the Guru. You become the Guru. You see, there's no two kind of entity, Guru out there and Guru, possibility of here. No, this is the Guru. Your wisdom is the Guru. The wisdom of Dharma in you is the Guru. This is called the inner Guru. You see, now, in any situation, the manner of the reaction, how you're going to react, you see, you react according with the Guru's way. So you ask question, in this situation, would my Guru, even the front Guru, would my Guru behave this way? Would my Guru will talk this way? Would my Guru, interpret this way, relate this way? You see, so you can kind of shape. You can kind of you can say train, or you can say make yourself in the position of the Guru. You see, so like this for the Guru, then like an example, like His Holiness, like Geshe Tenzin Zopa, when difficult people comes in their way, they relate to them with so much of joy, like kind of receiving wish-fulfilling jewel in their life. You see, like an example, like Geshe Tenzin Zopa, he has to handle so many centers. So sometimes, maybe the staffs, get into trouble. Like let's say the director suddenly overwhelmed with the emotions and stress, and suddenly like make big issue. So comes to Rinpoche, so this is so precious. This person will come bring so much problem to you to handle. It's like I think this person will get the best lunch invitation, best coffee or whatever, chocolates or best service, and so much of respect that you bring so much of problem to me. It really literally happens like that, and try to solve the problem in that manner, you see. And how to say, and that's how manage to at least come out of those problems, in organizations or in the family, within with our own emotion. So when anger arises, it's not always necessary that you have to say so bad about I'm so angry person, this anger, like feel so frustrated. No, but there's another way. There's one way you see all the limitations of anger and try to kind of push away. But another way is just know. Oh, this is anger. So you immediately, instead of interpreting how bad the anger is, you try to uphold the value of no anger, isn't it? So this is also, it's one of the practice, the very famous practice, Mahamudra, great practice of Great Seal. In relation to that, you see, you are not kind of like stopping the thoughts, stopping negative emotions. Whatever emotion there, let it be there and let it appear to you the way how they want to appear to you. Your job is just know, let go. No, not interpreting, not try to know more than that, that expression, whatever amount of expression to your mind, from the wisdom side, not try to know anything more than that. Just know and try to pass. And that itself is like seizing into its natural state. You see, that anger is trying to purify in its own natural state. So that's one of very powerful meditation, isn't it? But then in many cases, thought doesn't appear like kind of one after another different thoughts. Let's say if it's anger, you are stuck there. It's like huge. It's all about that. You see, so you need a certain tool to know, let go. Is by the help of place awareness or focus on the virtuous mind. So that's where the antidote in placing focus on the virtuous mind. You see, you know that immediately. Try to distract yourself from anything to interpret about that negative mind. So sometimes I think if it's the thought wise can't handle, if you have a big chunk of chocolate, just, intense one, or maybe the best would be even bite a chili. I think not all chili can help, but in Nepal there's one chili called Janmara. Janmara means life taker. So there's a round one. So if you go to Sakumabala around Bodha Stupa, there are the ladies and the from humble ladies selling this red or very green color round one. Okay, that's the king of the chili, I think. The king of the chili. So it's so hot, So if you can't get away from the anger, just bite. So most people, I think for like me, I think it's not easy to just know and let go, move on. I don't think so as simple as that, you see. So I think coffee also maybe not good enough. Chocolate also I don't think it's good enough. Then my meditation, of course, not good enough. So I think but I must get distracted before I engage in interpreting or try to kind of like suck me by that emotion. So I think the chili is, I think, very good. So only today I realized now I have to go and pack some chili. So you will know, what kind of thing that will kind of like, like make you pull out of, sucked by that emotion. You see. Anyway, now I got sidetracked. So you should look at them with joy. At some point in the future, the master said that there will be emerge a true spiritual practice that can be free you from the narrow gorges of the adverse condition. At that point, you should train in the recognitions of others as a friend. You see, like His Holiness Dalai Lama all the time say, the whole human being, whole world human being is one. What do you call? One human family. Just that word. Chanting that word is already can help so much. I think that word carries so much power. You see, the entire humanity is one big family. You see, then can gradually, if we manage to do that, then can expand to the animal realms, etc., etc. Even though it's not easy, but just even mentioning can be so helpful. So, friend in the sense, seeing meaning, not necessarily, like the friend that what we normally, take someone as a friend. Not the ordinary definition of a friend. Means you manage to see meaning, beneficial relationship in everybody, all the three type of beings, including the enemy. Including the enemy, because it's your teacher. To practice patience, etc. Whatever, practice forgiveness, practice patience, etc. Developing heart of compassion. In that sense, they are friend. They are friends of yours. So in that manner. So in this manner, train now to distinguish between self and others as enemy and friend, respectively. Occasionally, you should train your mind also by drawing a distinction between enemy and friend, even within yourself. Wisdom is your friend. Grasping is your enemy. You see. You can give your lay name to your thoughts and action concerned with the pursuit of your own well-being, welfare, and your ordination name to your thoughts and action that concern with the pursuit of others' welfare. So it's very beautiful, isn't it? So ordination name, like refuge name, whenever we take refuge, you get a new name, which is called Dharma name. You see, so you also have two kind of identity. You see. So whenever you misbehave, you call from the other name, You see? Okay. And you should call with a bit louder, language, So then if you do good, it's, very gentle, very nicely, Then following the example of the spiritual mentor, another master called Ben. Sorry, I also don't know who was not a Benjamin. So I don't know. Karewa. I can't remember. Correlate your arms, right and left, to avoidance of the non-virtues and adoptions of the virtuous act. The spiritual mentor Ben states, I have no other task than to stand guard with a short spear of antidote to the entrance of my mind. I don't know, maybe Ben Kunjin, I don't know. Geshe Ben. When? I think Geshe Ben Kunjen. Right? Could be Geshe Ben Kunjen. Yeah. No other task than to stand guard with a short spear of antidote at the entrance of my mind. Yeah. So, the mindfulness. Mindfulness in maybe compassion, bodhicitta, emptiness, whatever it may be, compassion. When the afflictions are vigilant, I too am vigilant. When they are relaxed, I too am relaxed. Also, you should be vigilant and strike at the snort of each bow with the can and chase it. All the sutras and the commentary treatises too demonstrate that there is no task other than eliminating self-grasping. This then present the viewing of one's own self as an enemy and the elimination of self-grasping. Because of the Shavopa's teaching, the expression which is the practice for smashing the demon's head involved. You okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, then carry on. Recognize sentient being as a friend and cherishing them. The viewing of sentient being as a friend and cherishing them is presented by the following line. Towards all beings, contemplate their great kindness. Yeah? So Shavopa, Master Shavopa, Gandharva Master Shavopa calls this called the spiritual practice of carrying the flesh and carrying the blood. It's called like that. It is called the practice of accepting all ill omens as a charms. You see, all the ill omens as a blessings. Here, one deliberately focus on the perpetrators of harm and cultivate loving kindness and compassion, then train in the giving and taking, you see. So, in Sutra also there's such practice, like this. So in Tantra, no question about that, like even like practice of church is very much, use very effective tool. Those like yakshas and meat-eaters and even like very very eerie kind of environment like cemeteries, then especially some very very serious practitioner, the masters, especially you can find that kind of environment in Himalaya. In some Himalayas, the like poorer families, the dead bodies are like just buried without, because don't have enough butter to burn the body, so just put then rock file like that. There's no cement, but then you can see from the whole body. And usually, of course, they will bury that a bit further away in the mountain or mostly in the rocky mountains like that. So the meditators would go there and usually choose middle of the night, to practice church. And there are cases that those body literally the spirit possessed back or other spirit possessed into the body, they come out even. So even like an example, late Master Kishalamo Kuncho, he did church practices. I don't know whether every night but at least during when he was with the students, then they realized that he practiced every night. So it's like during periods of 7-8 years of periods. So there's a place that where people bury the body. Literally what I mentioned like that, and alone. He won't let the students get near, so they can know from far or whatever. But it's middle of the night, so he would perform these like church practices to slash the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude and self-grasping ignorance. The practitioners really, through the visualization, they literally prepare entire their physical aggregates like a soul offering, and it's kind of invite the mid-eaters, like yakshas, spirits, and the ghosts, you can say. Then it's even the dead people, if their merit is very low, while they're hanging in the intermediate state, they re-enter into their body. Then called rolang, it's like the dead body come out as a spirit, not as a person, but on that human body. How scary that can be. And these are the opportunity for some practitioner to recognize the false I. So that's the time when that fear arises of like, wow, ghosts come and eat me. Right there, the false I come out. There you catch the false I and feed to the yakshas, the spirits, But for that, in order to do up to that kind of level of practice, you need to be very, very firm in renunciation. Then no way that like anything can drag you down, fail you to practice, because the renunciation is so solid. You see, then the power of bodhicitta has to be absolutely fresh and the strongest level. So that way the spirit cannot harm you. You see, then the wisdom of emptiness. Which will literally manage to really, manage to offer, the body, the contaminated aggregate as able to offer them without losing the body, without losing the life. You see, so like that, the very intense church practices, they won't do that in a comfortable place. They will do that in that kind of place, and because the time of the spirits wake up in understood it's the middle of the night, then using certain tools like the gangling, the tools, then etc. the damaru, then the blessed sadhana called Tenzin Zopa. Of course, many different texts, but even you go through the sadhana is unbelievable, but the how to say, the so real kind of practice, and through these three principal aspects of the path, like that. So that's why sometimes, like if, even in our ordinary day-to-day life, you are so easy to get freaked out. If some people have this nature of like shock everywhere. See one shadow, shock. So if you know, then you take that opportunity to catch the false eye. You see, then even if some people they have a lot of dreams, and some more very scary dreams. You see, so if you have that kind of habitual patterns, then before go to sleep, you motivate that I'm going to catch the false eye in the dream, So you can also do that, you see. And sometimes when you wake up, suddenly, some people wake up with so much fear, so much of like kind of maybe very eerie kind of, So, but for practitioner, take that opportunity to catch the false eye, you see. Yeah. So you can even take, sometimes hear bad news. You know, again, for practitioner, take that opportunity to catch the false eye. You know, when you hear some unpleasant news, especially accusations, especially accusation that you have never done the mistake. Oh, that would be the best opportunity. Many practitioners literally take opportunity to do that. That's why those true practitioners, when people accuse them, they're very happy. Or they become glowing. Literally, when people accuse them, well, they literally their practice, develops because they manage to catch the false eye. They like, wow, so thank you. People blame me. So that's the time, like finally they manage to find some way to catch their false eye, like that. You see. So you see, if you practice this way, you're fearless, isn't it now? You see, you literally become fearless. If harm doesn't harm you, criticism doesn't harm you, you're fearless, isn't it? It's how wonderful is that. You see, when you think of it, if you not just one side of these stories of Mahasiddhas of India, Pandita of India, or great Mahasiddha of Tibet, you see, somehow most of them have this like dark side. Not from their dark side, but the dark kind of, they're put into a dark position. And very much, all of them, they have taken that as the best time for them to really become the true Mahasiddhas, true yogics, Yeah. Just in one small example, again with my late master, when he first time came into village, among people, even before he met these 8 disciples, who stay around him for eight over years. First time he come down, he's a stranger to the whole of the villages, and he has a very huge body. So in some way he been doing this lung wind chulen. It's like kind of balloon, kind of like pump, like big, like that, and ragged, long hair, like, can you imagine? 20, maybe 50, 18, 19 years, just wearing the same robe. Can you imagine? So people are waiting. That's one of his initial, not the very first disciple, but later the whole family become a student. Especially the one that who did that, this to the Lama. Later he renounced, he become monk and disciple. So it's very much, I think, husband and wife waiting with the carpet in the Himalaya. Like in that time, the carpet is the kind of like a sponge that take all the dirts. You go to the field, you walk onto that. Like years of the dirt, the worst one. So you wait, and the Lama coming from there, wait, and then in the village, the working paths are so narrow like that. And the doors open here, like that. So the doors are a bit higher, like this, the stage of the door, and the pathway like that. So when the Lama Kunjo arrived, like that, then after speed out. You say, like, well, sometimes people you see, like poor beggar, like sometimes the street dogs are, and that time. He realized that that I'm true yogic. You see, finally, I realized that now I was put in the label of a street dog. I was before went into retreat, or during the retreat, I thought in the human rank. Now, the society put me at the level of a street dog. Then right after, when I succeed maintaining the stability of my compassion or practice, immediate after that is my label is as a God. The success, you see. So he felt so thankful to put him into that test. Later, these people, after gradually knowing who really he is as a practitioner, they become very much like heart disciple, because this particular family came from a quite wealthy family in that village. Later they become a benefactor. Eventually, this husband was actually very much kicked out by the wife, and the wife married the brother. So samsara happened when this team up with the wife, bully the Lama. Somehow, just some quite a number of years later, so all his possessions were kind of taken away by the brother, and even the wife taken away by the brother. So he was completely homeless, nowhere. Then that time, the only refuge he found is Lama Koncho. So when he first came to Lama Koncho, that was many years later. Lama Koncho already in Kopan. I was there. I was there. The person crying and kind of regretting whatever. And you can see the Lama's so much kindness, compassion. It's kind of like he almost frustrating. You are the kindest person. Then he said, "Don't worry, I take care of you." He said, "Yeah, you just put aside all the samsara." And he says, I think he ordered him there. He gave all his new robes. Then after that, he said, immediately, now you're already quite elderly age, so go to Dharamsala and receive fully ordination from His Holiness. And because if he enter into a monastery, all the new monks and nuns, they have to do the chores. So he's maybe not in that position. So after become monk, then he asked one of Tibetan family who do business between Tibet and Kathmandu. So they always bring some samba to Lama Koncho, and so they are always busy traveling, and they don't have other family, but they have a house in Kathmandu. Then he said, please, keep this monk into your prayer room. And he would do, he don't know much Dharma, so ask him to, recite as much as possible, Om Mani Padme Hum, and ask this family to feed him, take care of him. Then eventually, actually, after a few years later, then Lama Koncho called him up to Kopan and asked him to be a gomba keeper for some year. Then after that, sooner or later, he passed away like that. So almost every Mahasiddhas has that kind of stories, that they were abused, they were accused, all sort of things, and that become the most favorable condition for if some they see maybe not up to their expected practice, then maybe from there they even practice harder. Some they realize where they are, then bliss out like that. You see. So we may not be up to that level, but then we can try. We can practice. First, the meditation on loving kindness as a follow. Reflect these human and non-humans who perpetrate harms against me have been related to me so many times as my parent, as sibling, and as a friend. The frequency of which is greater than the quantity of kalasita nuts required to cover the face of the earth. I also don't know what this means. So I usually try to read the Tibetan first and then try to remember, but I'm blank here. They have constantly look at me with eyes of love, perpetually, sustain me with affectionate heart, and constantly guarded me from harms and in expecting situations. They have helped me with all kind of benefits and happiness, and are thus embodiment of true kindness. Reflecting thus, develop deep and earnest empathy and feel as though where you're able to place them deep within your heart, you would still not be content. View them as if they were pieces of your own heart. Then Atisha refers to a sentient being as my divinities and my spiritual teacher, you see. These beings are my deity, as equal value as my deities, So if you respect so much of Tara, and these beings are, like embodiment of Tara, you see. So it's a very hard practice, but it's a most beneficial. The meditation on compassion is as follows. Reflect like this: they harm me today, not willfully, but out of the deluded mind. So you see, like that. So here, not even saying, "Oh, my karma returning back to me." Sometimes it's like kind of like I am still the victim, even in that relationship. But like even can think just like that, because they are deluded. They are controlled by delusion. That's why harm to me. So how can I? If I really want to get angry, I should get angry with their delusion, because that delusion is the one they're harming. Put him in the position to harm me. You see. So as a sentient being, is still object of your compassion because they are suffering. I pursue my own self-interest since beginningless time without regard to negative karma, suffering, or distribute like that. And I have thus accumulated afflictions and negative karma. Because of this, I have wandered in the infinite cycle of existence, embarrassing misery as a practice. The blame for all of this lies in the self. Even at present, in my quest for enlightenment for the benefit of self and others, as I uncontrollably exploit and create obstacle for my dear mothers because of my negative karma, I am causing obstacle to the happiness of all sentient beings. So the blame for their departing to the hell in their future lives lies also in me. Wow, isn't it? Oh. So this is most sad indeed. Then cultivate compassion as intense as a spark of fire on your bare flesh. This is called unbearable compassion. So that much urgency when you express compassion, to others. So how to reach to that level? Again, through keep repeating, being habitual in the idea of compassion. So in this manner, cultivate loving kindness and compassion. Focus especially on the perpetrators of harm. If you cultivate loving kindness and compassion in this manner, because non-humans have some karmically acquired clairvoyance, the moment you recognize them as your mother, they will recognize you as their children. This is again very, very beautiful. You see, there are so many harms that we receive. Maybe definitely more than harm from human is from spirits. And the spirits are, many of the spirits are our what you call debtors. You see, the debtors are, most of the debtors, many debtors are in the spirit realm. You see, so like such as obstacle for the job, obstacle in relationship, obstacle in even like kind of like a calm, to enjoy the peaceful mind, peaceful physical health. Major harms are actually received in relation to spirits. And how that happened is because of harming them, in some time, harming them, like such as the spirit in the form of nagas and landlords, like polluting the environment, and spirits in relation to like elemental harms, like such as spirit in relation to sun, moon, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All these are actually different name of spirits. In Tibetan gods, it's like Nima, Dawa, Purbu, Lhagpa, Pasang, Pemba. Actually, it's a name of different spirits. You see, and different stars. You see, different. You see. So, because of polluting the environment, polluting the day, polluting the time, or harming, when they were as maybe your partner, your parents, your grandparents, or someone in your life in the past as an enemy or whatever. You see, so so now, whenever you generate the heart of recognizing them as your mother, and sending the benefit of expressing genuine love and genuine compassion is the way to release the negative relationship with this kind of spirits. You see, so best method is generate compassion or loving kindness, compassion. You see, this is the way. There are some other rituals. Many rituals can perform. You check astrology where observations where these harms are coming from. Why I have this sickness. More than human cause harm, the majority to do with spirits. You see, so spirit not just the ghost kind of spirits. So then there's a practice. I think later we'll talk about like giving Toma offerings. The ritual pujas, etc. Also, there's a solution, but best solution is generating loving kindness, compassion. You see, immediately when you generate that to all sentient beings, which is include the spirit also, or specifically all the spirits, then they relate to you as a child. Like what he says here. If you regard them as a mother, they relate to you as a child. Loving child, right there, release the bondage of karma with them, So, so if you cultivate loving kindness, compassion in this manner, because non-human have some karmically required clairvoyance, they have clairvoyance. Moment you recognize them as your mother, they will recognize you as their children. When this mother-child attitude emerge, how can they perpetuate harm? It is a law of nature that when I relate to someone as my mother, she will in turn relate to me as her child. By nature, it's like that. So this alone can elevate your suffering. The condensed perfections of the wisdom state. The world of human is replete with element, spirit, and diseases, but these are pacified with the power of truth by those who care and have compassion. Okay, we stop here. Thank you. yendo me de wai do yang ya nama ya dai je la che barai yo ye nama guru rana me kamne ya da ya mi. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jeff,
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.